All right, guys, Good Boy 32 here. Check it out. I'm sitting here looking at, well, you know what? This is a CZ SP01, and this is the non-tactical version. And the reason we're looking at this is because I went out and bought it, well, to turn it into a competition gun. Did I succeed? No, not really. As a matter of fact, I didn't even start, and there's a reason for that. I went out, took this thing, shot the daylights out of it. I love this gun. It's very accurate, and I'm glad I bought it. Don't have any regrets. But in looking at all the items that I was going to have to do in order to turn this thing into a pseudo shadow, by the time I got all said and done, I should have just gone out and bought myself a Shadow 2. And if you watched the video from yesterday, well, guys, you know what's in this box right here. This is my Shadow 2. Now, I don't have a whole bunch of Patreon donations or whatever the hell they call these things, so I had to purchase this bad boy on my own. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a different box opening and review. What we're going to do is I'm just going to go over some of the things that I'm going to tell you I like about this gun as opposed to this particular firearm right here. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and pull this thing out. First of all, it comes with 3 17 round mags. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. Nice thing is these guys right here are the big magazines for the regular SP01. Now I've got just an ass load of magazines for all the CZs that I own. So basic issues, guys. You get a lock right up there. You get these really cool buffer pads right here. Now, a couple people that I know say they're going to take them off, leave them on there, whatever. I'm going to leave them on because, you know what, as long as I've got them, I'm going to go ahead and use them. I don't really care. The cool thing that I do like about this guy right here, and I was really concerned about because when I shot Pop's Quests, he had the extended safety on there, and at the time I was not aware that the extended safety came with it. Guys, if you want to change this out, you'd have to buy an extended safety. So this comes with the Shadow 2, which is a awesome little deal. All right, so let's talk about a couple things. Well, when you get the SP01, this is the Shadow 2, there's a couple things. You go ahead, you've got the fiber optic sights. You've got adjustable windage and elevation front sights. You've got an extended mag release. And guys, this looks a whole lot like my, what do you call that thing? The Wilson Combat, but it's not. I've done a side-by-side comparison. In addition to that, you've just got a really big, heavy frame. And then secondly, you've got this cutout right here. So let's do this. I'm going to get rid of this box because we don't need that anymore. If you take a look at these things side by side, well, both of them are awesome firearms. I won't debate that. Now, the only thing that they did reasonably different on this guy is they put this trigger system in there that is absolutely like butter. Really, somebody's out there. Just look at that. Oh, unbelievable. The reset's absolutely gorgeous. And this guy right here, you're going to have to spend some money in order to get it to resemble something like this. Probably to the tune of about $298 something. Really, I'm trying to do a video between dogs barking and somebody's little backup alarm going on. I have elected on this guy right here, as opposed to putting the extended safety lever on it, I'm going to do like the Humble Marksman said. Just because you have it, it doesn't mean you have to use it. And one of the things that I did find out, I like using the slide release as a method after I get done seating my mags and bringing that down. That safety lever gets in the way. Now, what am I going to do? Well, on this guy right here, I'm going to learn how to shoot it off of the double action starting off. Wham! Okay? Which means that I don't have anything in the way when I'm doing my mag change outs. Just like that. Boom. And I love the extended mag release. So there, I'm looking at time. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. And we're going to use this in the 3-second challenge for Balding Curious. I've just got, actually went out and bought a timer as a self-given Christmas present. All right, so a couple of other priorities that you get with this as opposed to what you get with this is some major ass checkering. Now this is some DNA collection devices right here, here and here on the front strap and the rear strap. There was a channel that I watched, and of course, you know, when you buy your new gun and you're always trying to figure out how best to do a review, and I'm taking a different angle with this. I'm not going to sit here and give you all the details on this. Oh, a 4.9-inch barrel versus the 4.7-inch barrel on this guy right here. He was saying that this extra relief right here might cause the sales to go down on this guy right here. Well, sir, I got news for you. That just makes this thing that much better. I'm going to tell you something. You just can't beat that. Look at this. Oh. All right, so slide serrations in the front, where you have them here, they're adequate, but not quite as good as the DNA collectors up here. Secondly, you've got the slide cuts in here. From what I understand and watching a bunch of other different reviews, this is primarily to reduce weight in that slide, which inadvertently what it does is when this thing comes back, you don't have as much as this. Okay, there's the inertia revolving that slide back and forth. That sounds to me like we need to check that out. So let's do that real quickly, and we can take a look at some of the inner workings of these bad boys real quickly. And I'm going to show you some things that I found on the Shadow 2. Well, I'm not a big fan of, especially when you pay this much. Hold on one second. That booger's in there. There we go. When you pay this much for this deal right here, and that is this. Now the gray, Urban Gray, is a poly coat, and it's on top of the nitride finish. Now the nice thing about the Blue Grips versions of these things, they don't put the poly coat on there because the frames are sort of selected. They're better, in other words. But if you look inside here, right in there, I'm going to see if I can get that to zero in. Let's see if we can get to 0. Or come on. Well, anyway, the poly coat, it like dripped in here, and it created a rough edge all the way down. And you can see where it's like somebody took a paintbrush and they didn't polish the inside edges. Now, they polished the living daylights out of these rails compared to here and here, but it doesn't matter if you got junk inside the frame. So there's my first beef with the Shadow 2. Now, for shits and giggles, let's just go ahead and do something here real quick, because the slide cuts are supposed to help make this thing a little bit lighter. And let's just see, barrel and all, and the lightning cuts right here in the dust cover. 1 pound, 2.4 ounces, 15.9. So I can understand where if the slides were the same length. Oh yeah, man, there's a huge difference in the slide lengths. If they were the same length, that this guy right here would probably be a lot heavier than this thing right here. But that's it. I haven't even had a chance to shoot this thing. We've been extremely busy at work lately, and it's just been crazy. Now, another difference, let's talk about it, are the triggers. Yeah, I haven't washed this guy right here. She's dirty. I tell you what, with the trigger action on this guy, it is absolutely phenomenal as compared to this thing right here. Now, I do intend, now that I have this, I'm going to keep this in double action. I'm going to go ahead and put the single action trigger on the SP01. But that hook trigger, my big fat fingers, I guess the European fingers are a lot smaller, it digs into that area right there, the meat on there. So let's go ahead and put these things back together here real quick. But this pistol, the machining on the slide is absolutely impeccable. I'm just not happy about that part right there, and it's irritating. Let's go ahead and put these things back together. I wonder if these things are identical. I don't want to get them mixed up. Okay, so no, you got a little slide cut right there, so that's fine. At least I know the difference. You know, and it's so hard to come out with some kind of an original type review for one of the best, most explosive pistols on the market, custom. Now, I noticed, and people are going to get mad at me, oh, Yankee Marshall went and got him one. I'd like to see him shoot it. Be kind of interesting. I'd like to see him do the 12-round 3-second challenge from Mr. Bald and Curious, who, by the way, is a good friend of mine. Trigger on this guy is not bad right off the market. I mean, let's see about this thing. Let's go ahead and pull the other trusty Wheeler trigger pull out here. Put it right in the apex of the trigger, and about 5 1/4 pounds. Let's see what this bad boy's pulling at. I haven't even put a trigger thingy-majiggy-bob on it. Yeah, just a tad over 3 pounds. So tremendous difference in the stock. I mean, the double action on this is butter. This guy's got a long way to go, but it's not that bad. So in any case, going to go ahead and put the single action only trigger in there. I'm going to change out the sights. We're going to have a good time with this one. This is going to be a toy gun. This one comes great. Now, a lot of people doing the best advanced change out that you can do to improve this gun is improve by changing the grips. I tend to like these grips, and it's a shame that everybody has to change these out, because I understand when they get wet from sweat or whatever, they're not that aggressive, and they really have a tendency to get slick. But you know what? In a competition gun, you have to have that grip. You cannot afford for anything to be sliding around. I mean, this thing is just god awful amazing. I cannot wait to take it out and shoot it. I'm going to do it tomorrow if it kills me. Overall weight on this guy, empty without a mag in it, check it out, 2 pounds 11.1 ounces. This guy right here, 2 pounds 5 ounces, so roughly about 6.5 ounces. I've done a detailed review on this guy right here in another video. Thanks to Pop's Quest, he allowed me to borrow his, and that's where truly I fell in love with it. I mean, guys, you can go out, you can customize this thing right here to your heart's content, but by the time you're all said and done, you're going to have just as much money in this guy as you would have got in this dude right here, just going out and buying it. So that's it. That's my version of a review of the Shadow 2. I love it. I haven't even shot it yet, but I've shot many like it. I think the first time I ever saw the Urban Gray was at the farm when our good buddy Rich had one, and I decided, since I do have a couple other Urban Grays, let's just go ahead and continue that trend. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate in leaving them down below. That's it. I love the gun. There are no cons other than some of the workmanship and the shoddy stuff on the inside. I can overlook it. The slide operates, and that's what it's meant to do. I'm not sitting here trying to moo. How tight is that slide? Any questions, please don't hesitate leaving them down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. It's CodaBoy32. Support the red, white, and blue. God bless America. God bless those men, women in uniform 24/7 for our freedom. This freedom's not free. Wow, that was interesting. CodaBoy32 out.